Yo, YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Fly Guy here, man. And today we are speaking on the scum of the earth, man. That boy Myron from Fresh and Fit, man. Oh, man, I got a lot of things I want to say about this dude, but we finna get off into this content, man. We'll dissect it as we go. I came across these clips yesterday, and I'm just like, man. But let's see what he talking about, this nonsense he over here spewing.
Situation is a microcosm of a much bigger problem. For decades, we've had black people literally running around with black supremacy, committing crimes, not getting accountability for their actions, and then they blame the system for it. The reality is this: black people have been able to get away with a ridiculous amount of privilege in America for a very long time. They're able to be racist with impunity. They're able to call white people crackers without being challenged back. For literally the better part of almost 2 decades since the Obama era, we've had to have BLM and liberalism shoved down our throats, and quite frankly, we're all tired of it.
Let me bring in Myron Gaines, because you've been smirking and laughing. What's funny about any of this?
Well, I mean, I find it interesting that you guys want to virtue signal and, wag the finger and say she's a racist and everything else like this.
No, she admitted she's a racist.
Well, let me
I'm not wagging a finger at anybody.
She's self-identified as a racist.
But Myron, with respect, Myron, I don't need to wag a finger when somebody says, yeah, I'm racist. I use the N-word against black people. I don't care. That's a racist. I'm not wagging any finger. I'm not accusing anybody. She is admitting it proudly. Even you can't defend that, surely.
Everybody is racist to some degree. The reality is it depends on, a lot of people want to be politically correct. A lot of people want to sit there and say, I'm not racist at all.
Shut your bitch ass up. It's a proven fact that, yes, there might be some level of racism in the black community, but it's still not, it don't even come close to the amount of hate that the white community spews out towards the black community. We really don't even be tripping. If anything, we talk about empowering our community, empowering each other. There's still white supremacy groups out there that spew straight negativity about black people. There's still states and cities where black people we don't even have no protection at. Police turn a blind eye to whatever happens to us. There's still black people coming up missing, and they're labeling it as suicide. I don't even know if I can say all of that on here. Let me calm down, because I don't want to get flagged. But yeah, man, this is finna be very frustrating.
We all have biases. We all have stereotypes. We all make jokes. We all are racist to some degree. Now, how racist you are is a whole other situation, but everyone is racist. That's number one. Next thing I want to say, see, I think this Shiloh, Hendricks, and Metcalf situation is a microcosm of a much bigger problem. And that bigger problem is what I call systemic organization. And what I mean by this is, for decades, we've had black people literally running around with black supremacy, committing crimes, not getting accountability for their actions. And then
that is crazy work. How can he sit here and earnestly say that? That white people are facing some type of systemic race? That's crazy. He's sitting here saying that black people have been in just getting over with all type of crimes. And what world does he live in? Does he not see what's going on the TV every day? On YouTube every day? On Instagram every day? It's people like this that just, him and the first white girl right here with the black shirt.
And the system for it. For example, George Floyd, criminal. Ferguson, criminals. Freddie Gray, criminal. A lot of these people are criminals, and what ends up happening is they challenge the police officer, they get into a physical altercation, things go left, they die, something happens, use of force is utilized, and then they want to cry about the result, when in reality, it's not the police killing black people, it's black people killing black people. And if you want to talk about black on white violence, black people kill white people 2 times as much. And on top of that, most of the shootings in America.
He is just saying shit. Black people kill white people 2 times more than, come on, bro. Are you serious? You got to be fucking kidding me. Anybody who follows this clown, you're a fucking clown.
A lot of the times are white cops killing other unarmed white men. So this whole systemic racism or police brutality or, oh, it's all so messed up. The reality is this. Black people have been able to get away with a ridiculous amount of privilege in America for a very long time. They're able to be racist with impunity. They're able to call white people crackers without being challenged back. And quite frankly, white America's had enough of it, and the chickens have come to roost. Now, look, am I saying that's awesome? Am I saying that's great? No, but for literally the better part of almost 2 decades since the Obama era, we've had to have BLM and liberalism shoved down our throats, and quite frankly, we're all tired of it.
Right, but just to be clear, you would have no problem with one member of this panel openly saying she uses the N-word at black people with impunity and is proud of being a racist. You have no problem with that?
My worldview on the protection of the First Amendment and freedom of speech overrides my personal feelings. She has the right to say
That's fine.
it.
You can support the First Amendment, but you can also have a personal view about what she said.
My feelings are irrelevant. The Constitution is the Constitution. That's what
everything
matters.
you're saying is
fascinating.
irrelevant.
Hold on. So when it comes to chastising black Americans about their behavior, about calling white people crackers, as you say, about their moral claims about the racist system, you can levy a judgment against black Americans for all the things they do. But when it comes to this woman saying the N-word and this other woman endorsing it and saying that she herself uses the N-word, now all of a sudden we can only talk about the Constitution and the legal right. We can't offer any moral judgment against it. That's disingenuous. And it's as the only black American up here, that's quite frustrating to hear.
Crazy.
If you want to be soft and get offended by that, that's your fucking problem, not mine.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Let me ask Ricky.
We're not even.
Talking
Let me
about
ask
if I wanna
Ricky.
be
Ricky,
soft.
This isn't about being soft any more than when you were desperately saving these white people.
Hold on. This sensitive nature that you have is precisely why we have this problem.
It's not about being sensitive. It's about I didn't.
He wasn't even being sensitive at all. It's you quick to try to antagonize somebody, to instigate it, and then when he didn't even react in a aggressive way at all. He's just calling out the simple fact that you can sit up here and make these judgments about black people calling white people crackers and black people getting away with all this other type of stuff, but yet you don't even have an opinion on this white woman saying the N-word, saying that she's racist, and you don't have a word about that. It's protected under the First Amendment. Freedom of speech. Like, come on, bro, you a clown.
Articulate. Hold on. Let me finish, Myron. Let me speak, and then I'll let you respond.
You ever sweating hella hard like you off of something? You on some drugs or something, buddy?
I didn't articulate any sensitivity here. What I said, in the same way that you levied a judgment against black people, I'm levying one against the claims you're making. I'm no more sensitive than you were when you made your claim. I'm simply saying I disagree with you. And to immediately jump to you're being sensitive is just a distraction.
Crazy.
I'm making an argument here.
Crazy.
Just respond to my argument.
Exactly.
And my argument to respond to that is this. Political correctness, liberalism, and making sure that we are politically correct and don't use certain words to offend people is precisely why we're in the situation that we're in. For decades.
Bro, you are contradicting yourself.
To literally tiptoe around saying certain things around certain people, while the other group of people has been able to have impunity and be able to be as racist as they want to be, as violent as they want to be, without any type of consequence. And if you call it out, you're labeled a racist. The reality is this. Black people don't want to live around black people. I don't want to live around a bunch of black people. I moved to neighborhoods where it's majority white.
Nobody cares about
now, this
you.
uncomfortable reality that no one wants to say, so I'll say it for them. Black people commit a lot of crimes. A majority of the violent crime committed in the United States is committed by a small percentage of people, and they tend to be black men. Look, the reality is the reality. People don't want to say it, but the political correctness and being nice and
where are you getting these facts from? That's what I want to know. Where are you getting these facts from? Because it sounds like you just spewing a bunch of bullshit.
want to tell the truth is precisely this problem. And the reason why you're seeing all the support for Metcalf and Shiloh, etc., is because white people have not been able to step up and say what they want to say for a very long time because of what I said before, systemic, organized, where they don't take accountability for their
All right,
decisions.
let me bring in Ricky to respond. Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say that I agree that virtue signaling went too far, that political correctness went too far, but we're going from virtue signaling being the norm and being praised to now vice signaling being the norm and being praised. It's not just a matter of does this woman have the right to use that word? I believe that she has the right. I disagree with it. But is she now being rewarded with $500,000? Why are we rewarding people for...
That dude is off of something. He's off some drugs, I guarantee. I done been around a lot of people that do shit. He is off of something. 100%.
Performing vice instead of virtue. This is not healthy. This is destructive to our society. This is destructive to our social fabric, to our culture, to our ability to live with other fellow Americans. It's gross to reward someone for bad behavior. It's one thing to tolerate it, to say that she has the right to do it, but she called an autistic 5-year-old the N-word. Like, I'm sorry, but I feel like we're kind of like missing the point in the actual context. You can say that it's part of this bigger meta story of black and white America, but it actually is just like a short little clip, and you don't even know the context of it, and it's actually gross.
You
and if
really
we can't
don't.
just say that it's gross and bad, then I don't really know where we are.
Well, I think it's interesting to me that Lily Gaddis, you retweeted Nick Fuentes, the white supremacist. He said black people just raised $500,000 for a cold-blooded killer who stabbed a white teenager to death. So I don't want to hear one word about the Shiloh Hendricks fundraiser. Either everyone gets to be tribal or nobody does. Why would you retweet that?
Because I agree with it. Because we have to fight fire with fire. I mean, at some point, why
How
are
about nobody does?
Why are people allowed to be tribal? Why are black people allowed to be tribal? But as soon as white people stand up for themselves, we're labeled a racist. And by the way, you call people racist when you want them to stop talking about things.
No, I called you a racist because you admitted you were racist. Hang on. I called, just to be clear, I called you a racist because you opened...
That boy over there hit that booger sugar. Look at him.
Proudly admitted you're a racist. So it wasn't a question of exposing you or pointing my finger or trying to get this out of you. You proudly sat there, bold as brass, and said, yeah, I use the N-word all the time against black people. I'm a racist and I'm proud of it. That's what you did.
Racism is just having a preference. I prefer not to live around black people. I prefer not to live in a country where white people in our country are disproportionately attacked by black people. Where in my country, you can have an Austin Metcalf where he asks a guy to leave and he gets stabbed in the heart. I prefer that. That's a preference. Now, what a real racist is, in my opinion, is seeing someone as less human. I'm a Christian. I believe everyone's created in God's image. So I don't see anyone as less human. But that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to have a preference and say, I don't like what happens to be coming out of this community or that community. How is that a bad thing? How is that not just a preference?
Because
Let's speak about the shit that comes out of the white community. It's a lot more detrimental shit that comes out of that community than ours. It's just y'all keep that shit under wraps. The touching the kids, fucking all type of shit. I guarantee you she got a lot of mental issues. A lot.
Made black people sound lesser humans. You don't want to live around them. You want to use the N-word in relation to them, a word that you know causes that community unbelievable offense.
Is that my fault? Is that my fault? If they have bad behavior, if they want to act in a certain way, if I have to cross the street and be afraid that maybe because of the crime statistics that are very real, by the way, is that my fault or is that their fault for having bad behavior?
That's mind-boggling to me for multiple reasons.
Crazy.
I mean, we're talking about bad behavior. You know, we've never lynched you, we've never enslaved you, we've never done any of the deep-seated structural forms of injustice to white people that white people have done to black people. And yet to claim some kind of moral superiority in the midst of, and again, in the context of a conversation where a white woman is calling a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word, and we're talking about black people's bad behavior, this is absurd.
Crazy.
And the idea of fighting fire with fire, again, is a dishonest argument. Just to take us back to the point here, the people who are supporting Carmelo Anthony's campaign believe that he was wrongfully charged and they're trying to get him legal defense. The people who are defending this woman are saying, yes, we know you called the 5-year-old autistic black child the N-word, and we want more of it. We approve of it. We support it. These are not the same thing. And it's bonkers to me that we couldn't all stand and say, hey, it is wrong to call a 5-year-old autistic black child the N-word. I mean, Myron, let me just ask you that question. I think this is a yes or no question. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think the woman was wrong to do what she did to that child in that park?
He gonna say no.
I don't approve of that. But what I will say is that it's very important to understand the entire context of what led us to this position. Because again, Metcalf and Hendricks is a microcosm of a much larger problem. Earlier, we were talking about tribalism when you were mentioning Nick Fuentes' tweet. Here's the thing. Black people could be as tribal as they want to be. You have people like Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson running around about black power and marry black women and keep it in the hood and all this other stuff. But if white people assemble and say, you know what, white power, we need to keep our nation white.
Y'all been doing that. Y'all were doing that shit way before we started doing that.
Ostracized and labeled as supremacists, and they get banned off every single platform. I find that interesting.
I think I'm finna wrap this video up, y'all. It's Mother's Day. I kind of pissed myself off by trying to react to this. Myron from Fresh and Fit, Myron Gaines, you's a bitch. You's the biggest bitch ever, bro. And this ain't me being emotional. This ain't me trying to overreact. This ain't whatever you think or whatever type of stereotype you're going to try to put on this, bro. But do believe in due time, I pray to God that we meet. I pray. That's one thing I will pray on. I will pray that we ever meet. Because something is wrong with you, dog. You need God. You out here tap dancing for white zaddy. Anyway, y'all. To the next video, man. This your boy Fly Guy TV. Go ahead, drop a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you get notified whenever I drop one. Let me know what y'all think about this, man.
Show love, nigga. It don't show nothing. It don't cost nothing to show a nigga love.
All we doing is getting money.
Show a nigga some love, nigga.